Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel Simple Russian with Lisa, and today's video is going to be a bit different. It's not going to be a vlog. I've been posting a lot of vlogs lately. Today I'm actually gonna give you a Russian lesson. Today we're gonna learn how to form plural form of the words. For example, car, cars, book, books, table, tables, etc. And trust me, it's very easy. I'm gonna be using a lot of exercises, grammar rules from my book Simple Russian with Lisa. So if you'd like to get it, you can find the link in the description below, and thank you very much. So let's get started. In Russian language, to form plural form of the words, you usually have to modify the ending of the word. Specific ending will depend on the word's gender. So let's talk about the genders here. We have a male gender, masculine, feminine, neutral, and of course we have plural form of the word that we're going to learn today. Normally masculine words end in a consonant, such as k, l, p, no. Here I'm going to show you the consonants that we have in Russian language. If you're dealing with the word that the last letter of this word is a or ya, you're dealing with the feminine gender. But soft sign is tricky because it can be male and female. Here you just have to know. There is no rule for that. Neutral gender word, you have o or ye in the end. These two letters. Of course, there are some exceptions, but normally this works. And what are the last letters of plural form of the words? The last letters of plural form of the words is I or I. And of course, there are exceptions. We're going to talk about the exceptions today as well. Now you have successfully identified the gender of the word, and now you're ready to make plural form of this word. For masculine gender words, we have to add our letters I or I. Let me provide you some examples. The word urok, lesson, ends in K, consonant, we understand it's a masculine gender word, so we have to add the letter I, уроки, which means lessons. Телефон ends in a consonant, N, so to make it plural, to make it phones, we have to add the letter I, телефоны. I'm gonna show you here after which letters we add I and after which letters we add I. Now talking about feminine gender words. You know that feminine gender word ends in a or ya. Examples: собака, dog, ends in a, feminine gender. Вода, water, ends in a, feminine. Сестра, sister, ends in a, feminine gender word. So now if you want to make dogs, sisters, women, etc., what you have to do, you don't have to add a letter, you have to replace your last letter with I or I as well. So you had the word собака, which is dog, so to make it plural you have to replace the a with I. We have собаки, dogs. The word бабушка, grandma, ends in a, feminine gender. If you want to say grandmas, you have to replace the last letter a with I. So we have бабушки, grandmas. Let's take one more word, подруга, female friend, ends in a, feminine gender word. What we have to do, we have to replace the last letter a with I, so we have подруги, female friends. Super easy, right? What's a bit trickier for me is neutral gender words. So once again, neutral gender word, all the words in Russian language that ends in o or ye. Example of this gender: окно, window, ends in o, right? We understand, okay, the last letter is o, meaning it's neutral gender. Or the word море, sea, ends in ye, okay, the last letter ye, we understand, neutral gender, море. Now how to make plural for neutral gender words. We have to again replace the last letter. If it's o, we replace with a. If it's ye, we replace with ya. For example, море, the last letter ye, want to make it plural, replace with ya. Моря, окно, our last letter is o. Okay, you want to make it plural, you replace o with a, so it will be окна, windows. Okay, this is our plural form of the word. Let's take another one, vino, which is wine. So if you want to say wines, like many bottles of wines, talking about that. Again, our last letter of this word is o, meaning we replace it with a. So we have vina, wines. To understand the topic of genders in Russian language, we don't have to think like what it means. For example, we have a word car, right? Машина. So someone can think like, oh my god, this is car, so it's probably masculine. Makeup, макияж, so it's probably feminine gender word. No, in Russian language, we don't need to think of the meaning of the word. We just look at the structure. We look at the word, we look at the last letter, that's it. So here, we don't have to think a lot. Let's just look at the last letter of the word to identify the gender. Again, just 3 genders, male, female, neutral. That's it. I told you the ending. Not only in Russian language we have genders, it's also in Spanish language, right? They have male and female, and yeah, they don't have neutral, but we do. So just 3 genders you have to memorize. Once again, feminine gender words ends in a or ya. This is the last letter of your word. Masculine gender words ends in a consonant. I'm gonna show you the consonants one more time. And neutral word ends in o or ye. That's it. Some examples. Урок, уроки. Кот, коты. Собака, собаки. Ресторан, рестораны. Фильм, фильмы. And today for you I'm going to show you some exceptions for plural form of the words. So friend is друг, male gender. We have to add just e, right, like we've learned right now with you, and it will be други, but it's incorrect, it's exception. If you want to say friends in plural, we say друзья. Another exception, brothers. The word brother is brat in Russian language. It's male gender. We have to add so it will be like браты, you know, plural, but no, it's exception. Братья, that's correct form of the word. Братья means brothers. Another one, сестры, sisters. Город, we don't say городы, which is a very common mistake. We say города, город, city, города, cities. Имя, very difficult word to be honest, because имя ends in ya, so many students think that it's a feminine word because the last letter is ya, but it's exception. Имя, it's neutral gender, so to make it plural, it's completely different. It's имена. And имя, it's a very important word because it means name. So имя, name, имена, names. And one more very common exception that we use every day if you want to say house and houses. House is дом, houses, дома. Again, it's masculine. Yes, we have to add y, but in this case, this rule doesn't work, and its exception, we have to memorize it. It's дома. Of course, we have some words that we don't really change. I mean, we have words that sound the same like in English language. For example, metro. Metro? Yeah, subway, metro. So metro, we don't really change. It's always metro. We don't have plural form of the word. The same for taxi. Taxi, taxi is always taxi. Same as coffee. Coffee is coffee, right? And singular, plural, absolutely the same word. But another very funny word for me is the word businessman, which is like a Russian word, like spelled with the Russian letters, businessman. And if you want to make it plural, according to our rule, this rule works. Ends in a consonant, right? So it's male gender, we have to add y. So businessman is businessman. And that's it. I hope you really like this lesson. If you want to do homework, if you have some free time for an exercise, I'm going to provide a screenshot here from my book. You will have singular word, okay? You have to form plural. If you have the word урок, which is lesson, you have to make it plural, lessons. This is a table. You can finish this exercise. If you have any questions, you can write a comment below this video and I'm going to reply, of course, and you can double check yourself. It's very important rule in Russian language, so I hope you really like this class, and please let me know which topics you want to cover more. I want to write something on the board and I don't have it, but the good thing I ordered it, so maybe next week I will get it and I will film more Russian lessons for you guys, because yeah, I don't want to do just vlogs. I want to do lessons and vlogs, of course, but if you want me to film something more for you, please let me know. And that's it. Thank you so much for this class. I really enjoyed it. I hope you too. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comment sections, and I'll see you next time on Simple Russian with Lisa. Пока-пока!